Tired of the fog? Try the frogs. That really is an advertising slogan meant to convince bankers and others working in the financial services to quit hazy London for the joys of Paris. The president of the Ile-de-France region, which includes Paris, is in London today with a promise to roll out the red, white and blue carpet for anyone who is keen enough to head her way. She's Valérie Pécresse and she's in the studio with us. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Why would it be better to be in Paris?
Well, actually, I was very sorry about the Brexit vote. And I was sorry because I thought Britain had a huge place to take in Europe. But now this Brexit vote opened a fierce competition between all the European cities, continental and the island of Ireland, of course.
So what's the offer?
Well, actually, we are the first financial place in Europe. I'm not saying it. It's McKinsey saying it. It made an independent study about it.
In what sense, though? It's clearly not in scale, not in volume, not in international reputation.
After London.
After London.
Sorry, right. I said continental Europe. After London, but clearly twice as big as Frankfurt, for example, not mentioning Frankfurt.
But traditionally people say, look, we're not moving to Paris, one, because they loathe finance. I mean, President Hollande ran a campaign describing the world of finance as the true adversary. You put taxes up on the rich, you have a 35-hour week, and frankly, you're pretty hostile to the world of finance.
I must admit that we have to challenge preconceived ideas about France. And actually, when we looked at, comparative taxation, comparative labor laws, the difficulty for hiring or firing people or changing the rules in between the companies, we realized that, in fact, it was much easier than people thought in France than, for example, in Germany.
Easier to do business.
Easier to do business, yeah.
And are banks now preparing to move?
Sorry?
Are banks now preparing to move?
Well, we have also assets that we have to put forward. We have a really very strong regulatory body, the AMF, the Financial Market Agency. We are very reassuring because we have very stable. We are a very stable choice. We are very near London. We are very close. We have all the firms, the clients of banks are in Paris.
Isn't the reality that people will move for one of two reasons? You will either bribe them to move, you'll give big tax breaks, and the French government has started to do some of that, or you will change the rules of the EU to prevent London from doing business, certainly around certain euro sectors.
Well, let me put it differently. You chose to be outside the European Union, and, well, it's a long process to go out of the European Union. But in the end, most likely London will lose the financial passport. And if it loses the financial passport, then some of the Londonian firms will have an advantage or will have an interest to go to a country of the European Union.
This passport is the name given, isn't it, for a system that allows the banks effectively to compete as if they're in the EU, even though eventually we will be outside.
Yes, but when you have the advantages, you have to have the duties as well. And if you don't want the duties of being in part of the European Union, then you cannot have all the advantages.
You're being diplomatic, you're being kind to Britain. You're here to take our jobs and to take our business, and you're a French politician, and it'd be odd if you weren't. So be less polite. Why should people get out of London?
Because the market is in Europe, because the clients are in Europe, because the tech is in Paris, because the quality of life is in Paris.